afternoon, dear children. Let us continue the lesson reproduction in plants. Okay, last class we were discussing about asexual reproduction in plants. Okay, actually that includes fragmentation, then spore formation, budding, and vegetative propagation, isn't it? And this vegetative propagation, that includes we have learned vegetative propagation through stem, and then vegetative propagation through roots, and vegetative propagation through leaves. Up to this we have learned last class. Learned in the last class. Listen it. All of you studied. Okay. And today's class we are going to discuss about the artificial method of vegetative propagation. Okay, in last class we have discussed the vegetative propagation through roots, stem and leaves. Actually that thing naturally occurs. Okay, that is they naturally gives rise to new plants. And here the vegetative propagation that can be done in artificial method. We can use artificial methods for vegetative propagation. Actually these are widely used in agriculture and horticulture. Okay, this artificial method of vegetative propagation that is widely used in agriculture and horticulture. Okay, actually this agriculture that includes the cultivation of crops and animal farming. Okay, agriculture includes cultivation of crops and animal farming. Actually horticulture, that is the subdivision of what agriculture, that includes only the cultivation of crops and also gardening of plants. That includes horticulture. Actually it is the subdivision of what agriculture. Listen it. And here what are the artificial method of vegetative propagation? Actually that includes cuttings, then grafting, then layering and tissue culture. Okay, the artificial method of vegetative propagation includes cuttings, grafting, then layering and tissue culture. Listen it. What are the methods of artificial method of vegetative propagation? Cuttings, then grafting, then layering and tissue culture. Listen it. Let's see one by one. Okay. The first method is actually cuttings. First method is cuttings. Actually this method of artificial vegetative propagation that can be done in plants such as rose, cactus and bougainvillea. Okay, cuttings can be done in plants such as rose, cactus and bougainvillea. Okay, actually here when one end of cutting of these plants is we have to bury it in the soil. Okay, we have to cut the stem from these plants and can be buried in the soil. Actually it develops what the shoots and roots and gives rise to new plants. Isn't it? Here the first method of artificial vegetative propagation through stem, that is actually cuttings. And here this method can be done in plants such as, that is cutting, that can be done in plants such as rose, cactus and bougainvillea. Okay, when one end of cutting of these plants is actually buried in the soil and it develops shoots and roots and gives rise to a new plant. Okay, that is about cuttings. The next method is actually grafting. The second method of artificial vegetative propagation through stem, that is actually grafting. Okay, actually here a plant that is fast growing and resistant to disease is taken as the base plant. Okay, in this method we need a base plant that is actually called stalk. Okay, the base plant that is actually called stalk. Okay, then what is the property of this base plant? Actually this the base plant must be a fast growing and resistant to diseases. Okay, it must be, the base plant must be fast growing and resistant to diseases. Okay, and this base plant is called stalk. Okay, the base plant is called stalk. Okay, in this method a plant that is fast growing and resistant to diseases, that is taken as the base plant, which is called stalk. Isn't it? Next, a stem cutting. A stem cutting, that is actually called graft. Stem cutting, that is actually called graft from another plant. Okay, the stem cutting may be from another plant of good variety. Okay, it is of good variety. Actually, it is inserted on the stalk. Okay, by making some incision on the stalk. Okay, on the bark of the stalk. Actually, this is actually the what stalk. So we have to make an incision, or we have to remove some part from the stalk plant, and we have next we have to insert this graft on this plant. Okay, we have to insert this graft on the stalk. Listen it. First we have to take a plant with fast growing and resistance to diseases, that is considered as the base plant, which is called stalk. Listen it. Next we have to take a stem cutting, that is actually called graft, which is of good variety. Okay, it is of good variety, and it is inserted on the stem of the stalk by making an incision on the stalk. Okay, that is we have to make a space in order to bind together this graft with the stalk. Listen it. Okay, the graft and the stalk are firmly bind together. Isn't it? In a week's time or a few weeks, the tissue of the stalk and the graft that fuse together. Okay, after some days or a week time, the tissue of the stalk and the graft that may fuse together. Isn't it? And the stalk that provides the root system and the lower part of the new plant. Okay, the stalk that provides the root system and the lower part of the new plant. The stem of the cutting, the stem with cutting that provides what the upper part of the graft. Okay, the stem cuttings that provides the upper part of the graft plants, and which provides what the flowers, then fruits. Okay, actually this method, the grafting method, that can be done in fruit trees, that can be done in fruit trees and shrubs. Okay, actually these shrubs that includes the small woody plants such as lemon, then tulsi, then bougainvillea, then pomegranate, and also pomegranate. Listen it. I'll explain once more this method of grafting. Actually, here a plant with fast growing and resistance to diseases, that is considered as the base plant, that is called the stalk. Okay, also a stem cutting, actually it is called the graft from a good variety plant. Okay, another plant of good variety that is inserted on the stem of the stalk through a small incision. Okay, after that the graft and the stalk that firmly bind together. In a week's time, actually the tissue of the stalk and the graft that fuse together. Okay, and here the stalk that provides the root system with the lower part of the new plant. Okay, the stalk that provides the root system and the lower part of the new plant. Okay, the stem cutting that becomes the upper part of the graft, and it provides a stem, then fruits and flowers. Listen it. And this method of artificial vegetative propagation through stem, that is this grafting, that is done in fruit trees and shrubs. That is done in fruit trees and shrubs. That is about grafting. Next method is layering. The next artificial method of vegetative propagation is actually layering. Actually, it can be done in plants such as jasmine and grapevine. Okay, this can be done in plants such as the layering. The method of layering that can be done in plants such as grapevine and jasmine. Here, the lower, actually this is the lower branch of this plant that is bent down. Okay, the lower here, the lower branch of the plant is bent down and covered with the moist soil. Okay, and this part that is actually covered with the moist soil. Listen it, in plants such as jasmine and grapevine, the lower branch of the plant is bent down and covered with the moist soil. Okay, after actually when it is covered with moist soil, actually it is after removing a ring of bark from the stem. Okay, after removing a ring of bark from the stem, it is covered with the moist soil. Then after a few weeks, new roots here, the new roots are developed. After a few weeks, new roots are developed and the plant is then separated from the mother plant. Okay, after developing roots, the plants that may be separated from this mother plant. Okay, that is the method of layering. Actually, this method of layering that can be done in plants such as jasmine and grapevine. Here, the lower branch of this plant is bent down and covered with moist soil after removing a ring of bark from the stem. Then, after a few weeks, the new roots are developed and the plant is separated from the mother plant. Listen it, that is about layering. The next method is tissue culture. Okay, the last method of artificial vegetative propagation is actually the tissue culture. Okay, actually in this artificial mode of vegetative propagation that is be done in or undertaken in specialized laboratories. Okay, the method of tissue culture that can be undertaken in specialized laboratories. Actually, it is based on the principle that a new plant can be grown from a single cell. Okay, actually the tissue culture that is based on the principle that a new plant can be developed from a single cell. Okay, a new plant can be developed from a single cell. Here, a piece of stem, root or leaf or tissue that is placed in a specific conditions. Okay, a piece of stem, leaf or root or tissue that is placed in a specific conditions in a semi-solid solution. Okay, actually it is placed in a under specific conditions in a semi-solid solution containing nutrients and plant hormones in a closed container. Okay, we have a closed container. In that, actually a semi-solid solution is taken and which contains nutrients and plant hormones, where we have to place the piece of stem, root or leaf tissue. Listen it. Okay, we have to place a piece of stem, root or leaf tissue in a container, in a closed container, where actually a semi-solid solution is taken. Okay, actually that solution that is that is composed of what? Nutrients and plant hormones. Then what is the purpose of this plant hormone actually? Actually plant hormones are substances that make the cell of the tissue divides and forms a mass of cells. Okay, that is due to the action of this plant hormones, the cells of the tissue divides and forms a mass of cells. Okay, then roots and shoots that develops from the mass of cells and form plantlets. Okay, from the mass of cells, actually roots and shoots develops and it forms many plantlets. Listen it, and these plantlets actually regenerate into a plant through tissue culture. Okay, these plantlets that develops into a new plants. Listen it, actually this method of tissue culture that propagation that undertaken in specialized laboratories. Okay, that can be done in only in specialized laboratories. Actually, it is based on the principle that a new plant that can be developed from a single cell. From a single cell, a new plant can be developed. This is the principle of actually tissue culture. Here, a piece of stem or a root or a piece of stem, leaf or a root tissue that is placed under conditions in a semi-solid solution, okay, which containing nutrients and plant hormones, that is taken in a closed container. Okay, then what is the purpose of these plant hormones? Actually, these plant hormones are substances that makes the cells of the tissue divides and forms a mass of cells. Okay, then the roots and shoots develop from the mass of cells and form new plantlets. Listen it, and through tissue culture, these plant cells that develops to form new plants. Okay. Okay, that is about the artificial vegetative propagation in plants. Actually, that includes cuttings, layering, then tissue culture and grafting. Okay, so far we have finished about asexual reproduction in plants. Okay, next let's see about the sexual reproduction in plants. Sexual reproduction in plants. And for sexual reproduction, actually a male parent and a female parent is required. Okay, a male parent and a female parent is required. Actually, the male parent that produces the male gamete and the female parent that produces the female gamete. Okay, the male parent that produces the male gamete and the female parent that produces the female gamete. And here the male gamete and a female gamete that fuse together to form zygote. Okay, actually zygote is formed by the fusion of male gamete and female gamete. Okay, but the zygote actually, zygote is formed by the fusion of male gamete and female gamete, and this zygote that develops into a new individual. Okay, the zygote that develops into a new individual. Listen it, and here in sexual reproduction that require a male parent and a female parent. The male parent produces male gamete and the female parent produces the female gamete. The male gamete and the female gamete that fuse together to form zygote, and the zygote that develops into a new individual. That is about the sexual reproduction in plants. You know, most plants bear flowers. Okay, such plants are called flowering plants. Okay, the flowers bearing plants, they are called flowering plants. Most plants bear flowers. Such plants are called flowering plants. You know, the flowers that produce fruits with seeds. Okay, the flowers that produce fruits with seeds, and seeds can form new plants. Seed can form new plants. Thus, the flower is the reproductive part of flowering plants. Okay, flower is actually the reproductive part of flowering plants. In flowering plants, actually flower is the reproductive parts. You know, all flowers that develop from buds. Okay, the flowers that develop from buds. Listen it. Most plants that bear flowers, and such plants are called flowering plants, and flowers produce fruits with seeds, and seeds can develop new plants. Thus, the flower is actually the reproductive organ or reproductive part of flowering plants, and all flowers that develop from buds. Okay, and when we look at the structure of a typical plant or a typical flower, actually that includes the main parts that includes petal, then sepal, then stamen and carpel. Listen it, that includes the typical flower, that includes mainly 4 parts, that is petal, sepal and stamen and carpel. Petal, sepal, stamen and carpel. Actually, this is the structure of a typical flower. Okay, you already told the 4 important parts of a flower. Actually, that is petal, sepal, then stamen and carpel. Petal, sepal, then stamen and carpel. These are the important parts of a flower. Okay, let's see one by one. First about sepal. Okay, first about actually sepal. Okay, actually these are green in color. These are actually sepals. Okay, they are actually green in color. Then what is the function of sepals? Actually, that protect the other parts of flower before it blooms. Actually, the stamen that protects the other parts of flower before it blooms. Okay, actually the sepals are green in color. Actually, they protect the other parts of flower before it blooms. Listen to it. What are sepals? Actually, sepals are green in color. They protect. These are sepals. Actually, they are green in color. They protect the other parts of flower before it blooms. Listen to it. The next about petal. Actually, they are either. These are petals. Okay, these are petals. Actually, these are white or colored. Either colored or white. Okay, and they are seen as flower blooms. Actually, the petals they are seen as flower blooms. Actually, they usually attract insects. Okay, they usually attract water insects. The sepals and petals are not directly involved in reproduction. Actually, these sepals and petals they are not directly involved in reproduction. Okay, the petals are actually either colored or white, and they are seen as flower blooms. Listen it, they are either colored or white and are seen as flower blooms. Petals, they usually attract insects. Actually, these petals, due to the color, it can attract insects. And here the petals and sepals, they are not directly involved in reproduction. Isn't it? The next about stamen. The next part is actually stamen. Listen it. Actually, the stamen that forms the male reproductive part of flower. Okay, which is the male reproductive part of flower? Stamen. Stamen is the male reproductive part of flower. Actually, the stamen that includes anther and filament. Okay, both the anther and filament that constitute what? Stamen. Okay, actually the stamen that includes anther and filament. Listen to it. Okay, actually the stamen that consists of long narrow filament with anther at the top. Okay, the stamen that consists of long narrow filament with this anther at the top. At the top of this filament there is anther. Listen to it. The stamen actually it is the male reproductive part of flower which consists of long narrow filament with the anther at the top. Okay, and this anther that produce pollen grains. Anther that produce what? Pollen grains. Anther that produce pollen grains. Listen to it. Anther that produce pollen grains which forms the male gamete. Okay, actually this pollen grains that forms the male gamete. Okay, actually this pollen grains that appear as a powdery material on the anthers. Okay, this pollen grains that appear as a powdery material on the anthers. Listen to it. Which is the male reproductive part of flower? Which is the male reproductive part of flower? Stamen. Stamen is the male reproductive part of flower. Actually, stamen consists of a long narrow filament with the anther at the top. Listen to it. Then anthers produce pollen grains, and which forms the male gamete. Okay, which is the male gamete? Pollen grains that forms the male gamete. And these pollen grains that appear as a powdery material on the top of anthers. These pollen grains that appear as a powdery material on the top of anthers. That is about stamen. Next is the carpel or pistil. The next part is the carpel or pistil. Okay, actually this is the female reproductive organ of the flower. Okay, which is the female reproductive organ of the flower? Carpel or pistil. Okay, carpel or pistil is the female reproductive organ of the flower. Okay, carpel or pistil is the female reproductive organ of the flower. Okay, actually this includes this carpel that includes stigma. Actually this is the stigma. Okay, carpel includes the stigma, then style. This is actually style. then ovary. This is actually the ovary and then ovule. These four parts together called as carpel or pistil that forms the female reproductive organ of the flower. Which is the female reproductive organ of the flower? Actually pistil or carpel, actually, which includes stigma. This one actually stigma, then style, then ovary and ovule. Okay, that constitute carpel or pistil, which is called the female reproductive organ of the flower. Okay, what are the parts that includes carpel, stigma, style, ovary and ovule? Stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Okay, actually style, that is the long narrow tube rising from the ovary. Okay, this style, actually that is the long narrow tube that arises from the ovary. Okay, actually style is the long narrow tube that arises from the ovary. Listen it. And this top of the style is actually called the stigma. The top of this style is actually called the stigma. Listen it. You know, the carpel is made up of stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Here, style is a narrow tube that arises from the ovary, and the tip of the style is called the stigma. Okay, then what is ovary? Actually, it is the swollen part at the bottom of pistil. Okay, actually ovary is the swollen part at the bottom of pistil or carpel. Okay, ovary is the swollen part at the bottom of pistil or carpel. Okay, it contains one or more ovules. This ovary contains one or more ovules, and ovules containing egg cells. Okay, ovules containing egg cells, and which forms the female gamete of the plant. This egg cells that forms the female gamete of the plant. Listen it. And here the carpel or pistil that forms the female reproductive organ of the flower, actually it is made up of stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Stigma, style, ovary and ovule. Listen to it. Here style is a long narrow tube arising from the ovary. The tip of style is called stigma. Then ovary is the swollen part at the bottom of the carpel. This ovary contains one or more ovules, and these ovules contain egg cells, and which forms the female gametes of the plants. Okay, that is about what carpel or pistil. Okay, that is about the structure of a typical flower. Okay, here we have four important parts: sepal, petal, then stamen, and carpel or pistil. Listen it. Actually, sepals are green in color. Okay, actually, what is its function? They protect the other parts of flower before it blooms. Okay. Then actually the colored part is that is actually called the petal. Okay, the colored part is called the petal, and the sepals are actually green in color. Listen it. Which is the male reproductive organ? Stamen. Stamen is actually the male reproductive organ in the flower, which includes what? Filament and anther. Listen it. This anther contains powdered grains called pollen grains. Okay, and which is the female reproductive organ in the flower? Actually carpel or pistil, and which includes the carpel includes what? Stigma, then style, ovary and ovules. The egg cells in the ovule that forms the female gametes. Listen it. Okay, that is about the structure of typical flower. Also we have learned the artificial vegetative propagation. Okay, that includes cuttings, layering, grafting and also tissue culture. Okay children, study well. That is the end of today's class. Thank you.